Hey, man, I got a customer of mine. He pays a membership. Asked a question about you got an EFI, easy go, not firing. I'm going to show you how to test it. What we're going to do is, first thing, test the coil. And the way we're going to do it is, put your voltmeter on both DC. That's feed with a straight line. Set my voltmeter right here. And then we're going to, now 99% of the time, first thing you always check, if the golf cart is not firing, you always turn the key switch on and see if the fuel pump's pumping up. If the fuel pump's pumping gas and it's not firing, then that tells you that you have a ground going to the fuel pump. But normally, if it's the ECU, it kills your ground to the fuel pump and to the coil. So if you got the fuel pump coming up, that tells you the ECU is good on one side. So what we're going to do, unplug your coil. Got it unplugged, your coil right here. You can see your coil plug. All right there. I got it unplugged. So then what we're going to do is put your meter inside of it. Make that good connection. All right, well, I'm just use a test light. So we're gonna put in your test light in the orange side, and the other one the red side. And when you hit the gas, you'll see the test light come on. That tells you you're getting voltage there. Now, if the ECU was bad, you wouldn't have no voltage, no ground side. All right. Also, your coil has to be bolted down to the frame. And what I'm gonna do next, let me try this right here. There's no sense checking a fuse, man. You got fuses on here, but the fuses are for the fuel pump, key switch, and the fuel pump relay. So that, but all the fuel pump's working. You can hear that. Key switch is on because this red light's on. This red light's about useless. And how you know? Because I just unplugged the coil earlier. It's not even flashing a light. All right, let me see what happened here. Maybe my coil quit working. Let's see. Let me get spark plug. And what I'm gonna do is get a spark tester. Look at there. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn the key off, turn the key back on so our fuel pump come on. Fuel pump coming on. All right, you can see there, my fuel pump, my coil is not sparking now. So what we're gonna do is go down here. Where's that out here? Let me get to that thing. I'm gonna unplug the ECU. All right, ECU's under the throttle body. Really can't see it, man, because it's under there. But that's the harness for the ECU there. Now what I'm gonna do is plug it back in. And see what she does, just try to reset it. All right, it's doing nothing. So let me see what's going on here. And you can see what happened there if you look at it when I take it and push this in. I'm gonna show you this, show you everything in one picture. Now I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna get this damn thing. I don't know what I hate this OBD2, this oxygen sensor crap. Can't even talk, so damn aggravating. What I'm gonna do is take it and push in on my pigtail. So what I'm gonna do is take it, pull that out there. I'm gonna take my test light. Pull that out of there. All right, got that out of there. And I don't see nothing wrong with my harness. I don't recommend doing this at home unless you kill the power. But you can see there, it looks like wire might be bent there. So I'm gonna try it again. See what it does. So let me show this to you right here. Next thing I'm gonna do is, I found this out one time before, man. We had one that wouldn't fire. First time I've seen one go bad. First time the Easy Go dealership saw one go bad. We had to order from the Easy Go dealer because they didn't even know what it was called or nothing. But it's almost like a pulsar on your Robbins engine. Not a Kawasaki, they got a coil. But right here, if you look at this harness right here, you got this here. This sends the signal to the coil and tells it when to fire. Let's see. You can see now my fire is left. I have no more fire. Now the way it works is the flywheel on this is almost like an ABS brake sensor. It's got a bunch of slots in it. It's got a round circle. Then it's got a bunch of slots. Every time the engine rotates, it goes over that slot and it tells the engine when to fire. So what I'm gonna do there, put my voltmeter. Volts, I'm gonna put on ohms, which ohms is a horseshoe. Then I'm gonna change my range. So I get the, let's see there, where you at? Battery about dead, battery. All right, so I'm gonna do is change it to that. Where it does it by itself, my battery's weak. I'm gonna touch my leads together, make sure the meter zeroes out. All right, now I'm gonna put my, on this here, there's one wire, a hot, excuse me, one wire, which is the ground. And every time that it rotates and goes over them little, what we call a little dowel pin pretty much, or a slot, it makes contact between the engine. All right, so, but I got it on ohms. I'm gonna test it, make sure it's good. And I'm gonna take my other lead of my meter and set inside this hole here. That way, I know I got a good connection. Well, maybe not. You need to stick it to the frame somewhere where you can test it. Let me stick it. Let me put it right there. All right. If you look at the meter, you can see I got a reading. Now on the one I had no reading there. There wasn't zero. But I'm gonna rotate the engine. Let me back up so you can see me rotate the engine like this. And you see it changing? All right. That tells you right there that I just passed a notch. And there's a notch about every ½ inch. All right, went to the next one, to the next one. So that right there tells you can see it. That's doing its job. All right. So if that's not changing, replace the, I'm trying to think of the name of it, man. I've only I won't change it one time. It's almost like a pulsar, man, but it's some name that it ain't got nothing to do with that. And if I remember it, I'll post it in the video. So I'm gonna now plug it back in. So that's two things that can cause your igniter, your car not to fire. We got to plug in. We got to plug in bad. No voltage here, and it ain't grounded to the frame. Meaning your ground could be bad or something like that. All right. Hey, Dad. So you can see here is bolted here to the frame, to the motor, like that. So then what I'm gonna do, unplug the ECU. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is unplug your ECU. Now you have your orange wire and your red wire. If you look in your harness, the orange wire is going to be right there. So what I'm gonna do, put my voltmeter on ohms. Right now we're just taking continuity in the wire. All right, I'm gonna touch it together. Now on my meter, I can hit it where you hear a noise. Listen. That way I'll have to show you the meter. Anytime you touch them, you hear a noise. So what I'm gonna do is unplug my coil, stick the red inside the orange wire, and I'm gonna stick the other lead inside the orange wire on the ECU plug. It's gonna be right here. And you can hear it. Listen to the meter. All right, I'm gonna back up. You see it change. There's the orange wire. So that is a constant from there to there, straight there. All right. There is no in between switch or horn or nothing like that. It's straight there from the ECU. Now I'm putting inside my red wire. Let me turn my voltmeter back to volts DC. All right, and then I'm going to my red wire. Where you at, baby? Under here, so I can get into it. All right, the red wire comes straight from here. Oh, it doesn't give it a hot. So you just tie it into it somewhere else. All these tie together. And you can see, you can hear the meter. That's how it does. Now, if you have no bolt, if it don't ohm out from here to here, then you got to break in the harness or wherever your hot wire comes from, the fuse, wherever it could be bad. But I don't see it being a fuse, because if the fuse is bad, it wouldn't even try to turn over. Now what I'm gonna do is plug it back into the ECU, because you can see, let me show this to you too. You can see if I put it on volts and have it inside the red wire without plugging it into the ECU, the wire is actually, that red wire is actually a ground. See it? See the meter? All right, now earlier that was a hot. Now it's a ground without the ECU. So what I'm gonna do is plug the ECU in. Just like I said, under the intake hose. You can take the intake hose off if you want to, but there's more work you gotta do. I can get it to plug in here. And then what I'm gonna do is touch it to my ground this time. And now you can see, look, now it's actually a hot. No ground like last time, because I got a black lead on my meter on the negative and the red inside the orange wire. So when you put power to the ECU, it turns the red wire to a hot. All right, man. Stay tuned, man. If you got anything else, any more questions, just get with me.